Everybody, my name is Robert, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. I had a YouTube channel years ago, but life got in the way and it didn't really go too far. So, hopefully, I can have this new YouTube channel pick up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I am a huge Real Housewives fan. I loved Real Housewives. I watch it religiously. So I decided to create this channel around everything the Real Housewives. So just my different opinions and different thoughts about it. And I also love Reddit. I'm on Reddit all the time. So I might throw in some videos about Reddit and maybe reading different things from Reddit, giving my reactions to different things on Reddit, but mostly the Real Housewives because I love the Real Housewives. So today, for my first video, I thought that I would share my favorite, my least favorite, who I would want off the show that's still on the show, and then who from the past I would want to come back. And I know a lot of people don't like to recycle housewives. They're kind of over that, and I agree. But I mean, hey, everybody has an opinion. So that's what I'm going to share. And my favorite or my least favorite could be off the show or on the show. So, yeah, here we go. And I will say a little bit of why I feel the way I feel about them. So, yeah, here we go. So, and I'm going to say them in alphabetical order because there's a lot. There's a lot of cities, so I don't want to miss one. And I don't watch too many of the international housewives, so I'm just going to say the American housewives. And with Real Housewives of DC, I know that one ended years ago. I never watched that one. I saw little clips of it. So with that, I'm not gonna say either because I don't know enough about that. I don't even remember the women's names if I'm being really honest. I just know that crashed the White House. So yeah. So on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I would say my favorite is Drew. Now I remember Drew from That's So Raven. That's the only thing I've seen her in, but I know that she's been in That's So Raven, The Game, and I know she was in the oh, correct me, I forgot the the TLC movie, the TLC, biopic. So yeah, so I would say Drew is my favorite. I know a lot of people can't stand Drew on the show. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think Drew's harmless. I I I personally think she's entertaining, but I know a lot of people find her boring. And I think yes, she does have a strange relationship with the truth, but I feel like she's harmless. So I would say my favorite is Drew, and then I would say my least favorite. I would say my least favorite from this season, I would say was Shamia because I feel like Shamia was too passive with a lot of things. And I know there are a lot of people that had said they feel like Shamia was playing the long game and she was not talking to Portia about certain things on purpose because she wanted to make Portia look bad. But for me, I'm very honest with my friends. Like, if you piss me off, if you bother me, if you say something I don't like, I'm gonna tell you straight up. That's why I would be screaming at my TV because it was just so frustrating, and I got I got both sides. You know, I understood Portia could be a little bit intimidating, but I feel like if that's your best friend for decades, then I feel like, you know, be open. Um, and then on Beverly Hills, I would say my favorite was Garcelle. Um, and we all know Garcelle's exit. But I know I asked on Reddit about people's opinions about Garcelle leaving, and it was very mixed, because there are people that love Garcelle, don't care for Garcelle, feel like she offered nothing to the show, but I loved Garcelle on the show, but I know, you know, my gripe with her was a lot the same as a lot of people, where she wouldn't say things to their face. A lot of it was in the confessionals, and then when she ran off the stage, and then she was saying everything in her dressing room, I felt like she should have said that all on the stage. That was very frustrating. And then my least favorite is Lisa Rinna. I just feel like Lisa Rinna, she did way too much. I feel like she literally got joy out of seeing people's misery. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And I didn't care for her from her first season. I was never on the Lisa Rinna train. And I don't think she should come back. I don't think that's not the type of entertainment that I want to see. Because again, I feel like she literally reveled, if that's the right word, I feel like she literally reveled in other people's misery. And then on Dallas, I would say my favorite on Dallas, I would say Stephanie. I liked Stephanie a lot. I feel like she was very level headed. And then my least favorite was Leanne. I did not like Leanne. Leanne did way too much. I feel like Leanne was a liability on the show. Personally, like I'm glad she left. I did not care for Leanne at all. Like season 4 was a mess. Um, and mind you, also, I don't I don't really follow them outside of the show, so I I'm really judging them and judging my opinions from what I see on the show. Because a lot of people say, you don't know them. How do you say this? I don't know them, and I am just judging it from what I see on the show. So not outside, because I don't really follow them. So let's see what's next. So Dallas, Miami, Miami. My least favorite is Larsa, hands down. I do not care for Larsa. I I don't think she's good for the show. I don't find her entertaining, and I find it troubling. I find it very troubling, her choices in men. But yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I don't think I just personally I don't, again, I don't know her, but I just personally don't think that she is I don't think she's I don't think she genuinely loves and cares for the men that she was with after her husband. I feel like, if I'm being really honest, I feel like a lot of it was and is fetishizing. But that's just me. That's just what I feel. And then my favorite was Dr. Nicole, hands down. I love Dr. Nicole on the show. And then New Jersey, I would say my favorite was Melissa, or is Melissa, but we don't know where New Jersey is going. Um, but yeah, my favorite is Melissa. I love Melissa on the show. I know a lot of people find her boring, or she doesn't have a storyline, she doesn't have a personality. But again, I didn't find Melissa boring. I loved Melissa on the show. Um, and then my least favorite, honestly, it would be between Teresa and Margaret. But I would say, oh, I would. probably Teresa. Yeah, I'll probably say Teresa because at least you can reason with Margaret. You can level with Margaret. With Teresa, it's like talking to a brick wall. So yeah, I would say Teresa's my least favorite. And then New York, I would say my favorite is Bethany, or was Bethany. I know Bethany's kind of gone off the deep end, in the last few years, but I loved Bethany on the show. And when Bethany would read you, it was like a soliloquy. Um, but I loved it. And then my least favorite would be Luann. I never got into Luann. I just wasn't a fan of Luann. You know, respect for everything that she's done, everything that she's been through, but I just personally wasn't a fan of Luann. And then Orange County. Now, Orange County, I feel like Orange County, in my opinion, if I'm being brutally honest, I feel like this is the worst season Orange County has had. And Orange County has always been my favorite franchise. And sometimes now I forget that it's on because I watch it on Peacock the next day. And sometimes I forget that it's on because this season has just been all over the place. But I would say my favorite. I mean, my favorite has always been Shannon. I've always loved Shannon. I love Shannon's daughters. I think they're great. But I've always loved, and Shannon's dog, Archie, he's the best. But I've always loved Shannon. I feel like even if it was just for the show, Shannon was very, very, very upfront about her accident, made no excuses, took ownership. So, that I loved. But the way Shannon was treating Katie, I was not here for. But if I had to pick, I would say Shannon. But honestly, this season, I wasn't always a fan of Gina. But honestly, I feel like Gina is making the most sense this season. That's crazy. But my least favorite is Emily, hands down. I do not like Emily. I could go on a whole rant about Emily, but that's for another day. But yeah, my least favorite is Emily. And then Potomac. My favorite is Candace. Candace, I love Candace. So Candace is my favorite. My least favorite, I would say, is Ashley. I would say Ashley is my least favorite. And I still am in shock. I still am in shock about Wendy. Like, this is just crazy. This is crazy what Wendy is going through. I feel terrible for her kids. I feel horrible for her babies. They do not deserve this, but I just pray for their kids. And now the second part. So who I would want to leave the show, like who's on the current season or the upcoming season, and then who I would want to bring back if I could bring back one person, one housewife. So on Atlanta, I would say the person I would want off the show, probably Kelly. I would say Kelly. And then who I would want to bring back, I would say, honestly, I liked Latoya. I liked Latoya on the show. She was a friend of, when she was on, but I think Latoya could be good full time. I do. So yeah, so I would say I would want Kelly off, and then I would bring Latoya back. Beverly Hills, I think Sutton should go. I think I think Seth needs to figure herself out. And then I would bring Garcelle back. And then Dallas, oh, well, I would say, I guess I would say I would bring Stephanie back. And then, I mean, they're not on anymore, but if I had to pick one besides Leanne, because she was off anyway, I would say Deandra. I wasn't really a fan of Deandra either, so I would say Deandra. And then Miami, and forgive me, correct me if I'm missing any shows between Dallas and Miami, but I don't think so. Like I said, I'm saying them in alphabetical order so I don't miss one. But Miami, probably the same. I would want Larsa off, and then I would want Dr. Nicole to come back, but I also want Julia off, because what Julia did was not right at all. And then New Jersey, I would want Melissa back. And again, I don't know what's going on with New Jersey. I don't think anybody knows what's going on with New Jersey. But I would say if it was the same cast that it was the last season, then I would say, I know she's not a full-time housewife, but I would want Jen Fessler to go. I don't think she was right for the show, because how are you on the Housewives and you don't want to confront anything, you want to just leave? I don't like that. And then New York, I would say from the original, I was going to say bring Bethany back, but I don't know now. I guess I'll think about it from how she was on the show. So I would say Bethany, and then who I would want off the show. Well, who I would want off is, I guess from the past, I would say Luann. And then from the new Housewives, I actually loved Sai her second season. I loved Sai this last season. And then Brynn I would want off the show, but she is off the show. Because that whole situation was also just a mess. And Uba's not perfect, but I feel like Brynn was out of line a lot more. And then for Brynn to not feel any remorse and nothing at the reunion was very concerning. And then Orange County, I would want Tamra. I was going to say Tamra, but... Oh. What am I thinking? No, I would want Emily off. I want Emily off. And then who I would bring back? Who would I bring back? I guess I guess I'll say I mean, Vicky's controversial, and Vicky did have her whole homophobic meltdown, which, me being a gay man myself, yeah, I did not like that at all, but I guess if I had to pick someone to come back, I would say Vicky. And then, because it's funny because I could not stand Vicky in like the early seasons. I couldn't stand Vicky, but on the Ultimate Girls trip, it's funny because so many people thought she was being so negative and just not fun at all. And it's funny, I didn't mind Vicky on the Ultimate Girls trip as much as I, didn't like her in her earlier season. So that's funny because, yeah, I didn't mind her on the Ultimate Girls Trip. Um, and then on Potomac, I would bring Candace back, and then I would want Ashley off the show. But I don't know if she's going anywhere. And then on Salt Lake City, oh, I forgot to say who my favorite on Salt Lake City is. My favorite is Angie. I know a lot of people also don't like Angie, but and again, I know there's some things people say there's, things with her and her husband, but again, I don't really follow them outside of the show, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying from what I'm seeing on the show. Angie is my favorite, and then my least favorite is Meredith. I don't find Meredith entertaining unless she's activated. And that's the same. Well, I wouldn't, for SLC, I wouldn't bring anybody back. I wouldn't bring anybody back. I wouldn't bring Jen back. I wouldn't bring Monica back. Because I feel like Monica kind of came and went, you know? So I wouldn't bring Jen back. I wouldn't bring Monica back. I wouldn't bring the other Angie back. So yeah, I wouldn't bring anybody back, but I would want Meredith off the show if I had to pick. And Brittany, cause yeah, Brittany and that scene with Whitney, with their kids, that was very troubling. So those are my opinions on all of that. And I know a lot of people love the Housewives. Hopefully, I can bring people in. Hopefully, I can start discussions because I know a lot of people have channels focused on the Housewives. So hopefully, hopefully I can, hopefully I can bring people in. Hopefully, I can engage you because I'll have different types of Housewives videos, just my opinions. And, when the episodes come out, maybe I'll do some type of episode reviews. Now, I don't always watch full episodes because I don't have the highest attention span, so I don't always watch the full episodes. But I would love to talk about the episodes that come on, and again, just give my opinions. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully I can create a community, and I definitely want to post consistently and really try to build this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think of the Housewives. Let me know which Housewives you love, which Housewives you don't care about, which Housewives you don't care for, which Housewives situations, were the craziest to you, Housewives friendships. Just let me know. And again, hopefully I can build this channel and create a community. So again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.